Another episode with ClearShift Solutions. My name is Pam Grace, and I am going to be taking my time today to help you make a clear shift in your business. If you've been wondering how to stay organized, audit ready, and ahead of compliance echoes in 2025, this video has the answers that you need. Today, we are building your RSA Audit Binder. This is a simple yet powerful tool to help you pass inspections, maintain structure, and also run your business with confidence, okay? So what is an audit binder? I believe in keeping everything simple, right? Running a business can be very nuanced, but successful business operate with process and simplicity. That helps to create efficiency, ease, eliminates a lot of decisions, right? So everything is just kind of accounted for, and you can basically plug and play anyone and they could do their job, right? That is what this audit binder is. It's a centralized folder. It could be physical or digital that will house every key document an auditor, inspector, or funder might request. In this aspect, we're talking about an auditor for a compliance standpoint. So the goal of this binder is to keep your workforce, wage, and compliance records organized. You want to speed up audit response time, right? So if someone say, hey, I want to locate this, so I'm looking for that, you're able to quickly identify it and locate it. It's also going to help with training new staff on how to manage internal process, right? Processes win, right? Any business that has a strong process is typically successful, okay? And also, you prove you're running a professional and proactive operations, right? So having this structure proves that you are running real business with checks and balances and where everyone is aligned, right? And best of all, it shows that you're taking compliance seriously, and that builds trust. So that's going to build trust internally with your internal leadership or administrative team, as well as with your staff, and then also with your other partners, okay? So I'm sure you already have a system. You've been running a business for some time now. You're probably, 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure business or higher. And so systems are not new to you. You've been running systems, but have you been verifying that your systems are effective? How often do you update your systems? Are there ways to improve? Is there a lot of waste? So time wastage, maybe money wastage, right? And so when you think about like what's called the lean process, where it's like, how do we minimize costs? How do we minimize waste? I want you to be intentionally thinking about that as you refine your internal business processes, okay? That is going to help you be successful. Any real business owner or enterprise that is successful are always reviewing and auditing their process, okay? Process can get outdated. Sometimes, especially us in healthcare, we're so busy serving, or trying to acquire new clients that we really neglect this internal process that is core. That is core to a healthy business. That's foundationally important to help everyone know what they're doing. And it just creates, again, that necessary checks and balances. So therefore, you don't drop the ball. How many times have you noticed that there's an audit? Oh, JCO's coming. Oh, the auditor is coming. This person's coming. And everyone is running frantically trying to get things in order, guys. If you are a clinician, you know what it's like being on the other side. If you've been an administrator in a health system, you know what it's like being on the other side. And you're running your own business, you know what it's like, right? At the end of the day, when your books is not in order, you running a sinking ship, okay? So let's get things in order. What to include? Again, this is just some high level ideas on what you should include. So I have 7 tabs that you should consider. So here's some ClearShift 7 tabs we recommend for every RSA. Tab number 1, business information. Always have your essential business information that you need: license, insurance, etc., Medicaid provider number, all of that information, have it in that business tab number 1. Employee files, Okay, this is where it can get a bit tricky, right? Because you may have some active employees, inactive employees, maybe some that are pending, right? So being very clear on your employee files. Okay, some of the things you consider obviously is your roster, job descriptions, making sure that you have offers, uh, classification forms, and any other essential document that you need for your employee file, right? CPR and first aid, etc. Do you do reference checks, background checks, right? All the essential things that you need. There could be essential elements that are required that are outlined in your Kumar, right? The regs for the state of Maryland. But then there may be some unique elements that you particularly require for your business that are unique to your company. Whatever you require in that employee file, make sure that it's there. So whoever you have doing your hiring, onboarding, you need to be doing spot visits and spot checks and pull out some random folders and pull out some random employees that were recently hired and audit those files and doing internal audits to make sure that things are up to par and that people are actually doing their job. But you want to make sure that we're not skipping process. We're not skipping steps just to go ahead and fill a case or just to fill a job. And hey, I'll get to this later. So making sure that tab 2, employee files, is again comprehensive to what is required in the Kumar, right? Was required with EEOC, so equal employment opportunity, making sure whatever's in line with your labor act or labor laws, but make sure that you have what you need when it comes to that employee file roster, not just only the checklist, but making sure that everything that you've identified as needed is in there for each personnel. And if someone doesn't have it, maybe have a section there that explains why that element is not there, right? But it's still accounted for. So that shows that someone just didn't forget or failed to do their job. Number 3, timekeeping and payroll. So you may be having a HRIS system, so a HR information system that perhaps you're utilizing, maybe you to help you with timekeeping, maybe help you with running payrolls, etc. Whatever your timekeeping process is, maybe you have a home care software, right? There's so many different softwares out there, but maybe you have one of those softwares that you're utilizing, or maybe you have multiple. Just clearly be able to document and be able to know what systems we're using. So for Medicaid waiver, maybe using the LTSS system, right? But then for private pay, you're doing this or that. Just being able to really clarify exactly how you're timekeeping the approvals, your payroll systems, and make sure that everything is aligned and it makes sense. If there's anything you need to document when it comes to like overtime, because again, with the reclassification, you have to consider overtime. How are you accounting for that? How are you managing that? Things of that nature. And also, what are your timekeeping requirements as well? Making sure that everyone is aware of that. When should time be submitted, etc. So that's tab number 3. Number 4, HR policies and handbook. Guys, this is important. So your most recent handbook. So do you have your company policies and procedures? I'm sure you all have it because you are a licensed RSA. Are you utilizing your policies and procedures? Do your staff know about your policies and procedures? Have you created a simplified format for people to quickly understand those core policies and procedures that are important to them? That is important for you to have and make sure that you're updating it, okay? Any type of handbook, so employee handbook, right? So do you have it updated? When was the last time you updated employee handbook? Is it out of date? Does it have like is it in alignment with any of the new regulatory changes, right? And does your handbook speak to that? So you want to make sure that any company policies and procedures and also employee handbook is also in aligned, okay? And there's also been acknowledgement that they've received it, they've acknowledged the terms and agreement, they're willing to abide by it. Any company memos that you may have, or policy memos or amendments or anything of that nature, that everyone has that and has acknowledged it as well, okay? So that'll be tab number 4. Excuse me. Number 5, benefits and enrollment. You're running a business. It's time to be competitive. Benefits matter, especially in the post COVID era. Obviously the demand for caregivers is sky high. Like I remember, running payroll post pandemic to now after, when it comes to what caregivers demand. They know their worth. The landscape is changing. The pool of caregivers is small. The demand is high. So this supply and demand thing is real. And you want quality staff. And so in order for you to truly go after quality staff members, you have to be thinking about the comprehensive offer. It's not just about compensation no more. It's about total rewards. So total rewards is everything. It's compensation, it's benefits, it's experience, right? It's even some of those other unique differentiators for your company that's really going to create, again, that total package, thinking about that whole person. I know in healthcare we use like the whole person or a person-centered care. We use all this amazing jargon when we're trying to recruit and stand out a part of the pack. But truly, who's really doing that? Who's really giving person-centered care to every person? That's a part of every person every time, right? And so that is something you want to think about. What is your messaging when it comes to your employees, when it comes to benefits and benefits enrollment or even benefit offering? So just want to throw that out there that if you don't have a benefits tab section or addressing it, this is time to really start seriously thinking about that and incorporating that into your business. So benefit guides, benefit enrollment forms, any excuse me, any waivers where someone declining, right? So hey, you presented an offer, but they decided to decline the offer. You need to be able to have a form or a statement of that nature, right? Where they checked off and said, hey, I was offered, but I declined, etc. Right? So you really want to be thinking about benefits and enrollment and having that. That is tab number 5. Number 6, training and orientation. Okay. Ooh. Training and orientation. Onboarding checklist. What is your onboarding experience? For any person that's coming in, they should be basically you should be immersing them into your company culture, into your company policies and procedures, your handbook, really kind of getting them into the way of life of ABCD company, right? Because this is now they're coming into your world and you want to introduce them into your culture and how you do business and how you want business to be done. So skipping this part is not good practice. Having them check off or read something quickly like, hey, I read, maybe abuse document, like let's say elderly abuse, and things to be mindful of or things to do or not do, or cultural competency forms or whatever you have them, right? Privacy policy and HIPAA compliance of whatever you have them attesting to. Make sure that you really did that training and that they understand, right? Going over different scenarios as well. Like if this happened, this is how you address this and that. And so people really are able to simulate themselves into a moment in time and being able to effectively problem solve and think how to what to do in an event of an incident, right? How to document incident, how to resolution, who to contact, etc. Okay. Those are the things I recommend. Onboarding checklist. Make sure that those things are done. Any type of CEU, so continuing education learning that you're providing throughout the year, whether it's OSHA training, any type of safe handling, anything when it comes to, like, for example, when a nurses go into the homes and does reviews, whether it's a 90-day assessment or 6-month assessment, and they're doing the caregiver review, right? Make sure that checklist is there and the nurses are signing off that they have assessed the skill set of each caregiver, right? And then and also providing notes and feedbacks, right? And if there was areas of improvement, and notating that as well. So, and also attendance roster. Who's showing up? This is going to be important too. Keeping attendance roster just to make sure that, again, timesheet should be in alignment with attendance. It should also be in alignment with payroll, right? Because you got to show up to work, clock in, do the job, document it, and document your notes or anything that you need to share, whether they're taking vitals or anything that they need to do, medication, everything is documented. And of course, they're going to get paid for their services. Okay. Last one, number 7. audit, logs, and internal reviews. So any type of, excuse me, guys. Excuse me, still recovering from a cold here. But tab 7 is audits and internal reviews, right? So any past audit notes, corrective plans, internal audits, spot checks. Keep record of that. You want to be able to have an internal, again, checks and balance system, right? So when any other external partner comes into your place, they can already see, oh yeah, we had a review this date, we had a review this date, we saw this finding, we corrected it, and whenever someone, excuse me, when excuse me, guys, woo, oh, one moment, oh, this is a live tape, so excuse me, y'all. But anyways, so whenever, like, let's say if I was an auditor and I was coming in, I was able to see that, hey, this person is attempting, or this person is doing what they need to do, that someone went ahead and checked and reviewed, that let us know that, wow, you care enough about your business that you have certain key elements in place. And so internal reviews is going to be very important. Being really honest about what you find, and then have those corrective actions and do it. Do not always wait for the state to come in and audit you, whether they're auditing your assisted living or your rehabilitation facility or your group home or your home health agency or whatever, for you to take care of business. You already knew there was issues in there before they came. So be proactive and run your business with intention and with purpose, because the things that we're doing when it comes to healthcare is serious, right? Everything needs to be documented. There has to be a high level of professionalism. And we want you to be successful, right? And so we want to make sure, and any family member and or the state that's partnering with you and paying you for service, we want to make sure that you are committed to your business and you're doing good business, okay? So yeah, those are the 7 things. So I know I spoke a lot, but I'll just go ahead and recap the 7. Number 1 is business information tab. Number 2, employee files. Number 3, timekeeping and payroll. Number 4, HR policies and handbook. Number 5, benefits and enrollment. Number 6, training and orientation. And number 7, audit logs and internal reviews. Okay. Now, mind you, this is just a guide. Please, every business is different. You may already have much of all of this. Maybe you have elements of this and some things are missing, but just to kind of think about where you are and see where the holes and gaps are, and be proactive in addressing those, right? That would be my recommendation for you. So, how do you maintain a healthy business or a compliant business year round? You want to assign ownership. Usually this person is who is going to lead ops. So in certain space, they have like, who is your quality assurance officer? Do you have a quality assurance officer? Is there someone that's really good in like knowing compliance and getting things done, is very detail oriented, will find an error, correct it, someone that's a highly responsive, someone that people respect, right? So definitely a compliance officer. If you don't have that, feel free to hire ClearShift. We can be a part of your compliance team and really steer you in the right direction with that. Update, you want to be able to do update for whether it's monthly updates or quarterly updates, depending on how you run your business. Think about what frequency makes sense. I always say auditing, this should be, daily and weekly. For example, when I used to work in a bank back in the day, when I was back in my day, when I used to be a teller, I used to have to, tally up my roster, tally up my transaction before the end of the night, right? I had to check out. I had to check out how much funds I had, all my receipts, all my checks, everything, and everything had to balance out before I left. And then I had to sign out and everything had to make sense, right? And sometimes I'll get spot audited and they'll audit randomly. Wake up in the morning, I'll go to the vault, grab the funds. Boop, Pam Grace, we're doing a surprise audit. Because, when you run a money business, you got to check on what's going on. You just never know who got sticky fingers and you never know who's cutting corners, right? And so being kind of aware of that, just kind of that mindset of just kind of like daily checkout. So you should not do this quarterly basis. You should, because it's too much happening. It's too much activity. It's too much going on. You got clients in this county, in this city, and this here, and this and that. It's a lot going on. So you need to be having someone that's on top of it on a daily and weekly basis. Trust me when I tell you, that's good business. Okay. So if you don't have someone that's really leading compliance, if you don't have your team checking out this and this and that in an organized and consistent and centralized fashion, then you need to make a shift. Yeah, you need to make a shift. So conduct, like I said, mini self audits. You can do like comprehensive big audits, maybe like every 3 months, and then everybody should be doing like their daily and weekly checkouts. Maybe if they have a manager, supervisor, whatever, check things periodically. But that's what I would recommend. And then you want to also have both digital and physical copies if possible. Okay. Healthcare is still old school. Sometimes a system glitch or sometimes this and this and that. I always believe that everything should be digitized, have a cloud-based system, HIPAA compliant cloud-based system to kind of house all your stuff, especially if you're a business owner that travels a lot. You want to be able to watch your business wherever you are, whether you're out of the country, whether you're here, whether you're in a different state. You need to be able to look at what's going on and always have a pulse on your business. But then there's also a level of ease when you kind of have certain folders and certain things. And so trying to figure out how to, minimize paper, but then also utilize it, but that's what I would recommend if possible. So at the end, this entire audit, right? This RSA Audit Binder should be basically like the central nervous system of your business. Okay? The central nervous system. It should be, that's what you'll look at this as, okay? So, hope I covered everything for you. Hope this has been helpful. Again, my job is to make sure that you are well prepared to continue to run your business with the level of excellence that is demanded by the state and also by the state. And so we want you to be in compliance today, but then also for tomorrow. We want you to have a growing business and want you to make a healthy impact. But you have to do that by taking care of home first. So take care of your business and your business will take care of you. So if you're looking for a healthy partner, feel free to book a consultation with ClearShift Solutions. You can go to our website, clearshiftsolutions.com. There'll be a button there to book a consultation. Book a consultation. It's free of charge, and we'll be happy to speak with you. I myself or any of my other HR associates and consultants will be able to support you and help you in your business on the path to success. Also, we have a weekly newsletter that goes out every Tuesday by noon. So if you also go to ClearShift Solutions and press subscribe, put your email information there, and weekly you'll get weekly updates, okay? Again, our job is to make sure that you are successful. So please utilize the resources because we really are passionate about this work that we do. And, we want to make sure that you're successful and we want you guys to know that you're not alone in this process, okay? Oh, don't forget, guys, we have on our website, if you want us to do an assessment or an audit of your business from an HR perspective, you can go ahead and choose the assessment package. I believe it's number 1. And you can feel free to either meet with us before and we could talk to you more about it. But it's very detailed in regards to what's being offered, just so you can see where you are. And our team will be able to do that for you. Okay. That's it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like this page. Leave us a note. Tell us where you at, what city you're in, what you got going on. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it down in the chat. And until next time, don't forget, it's time to make a clear shift. See y'all.